Okay, you can see that this is obviously our starting file. It's kind of defeats what I normally tell people. You shouldn't have a dark background and light text. And the reason for that is there are a lot of people that may be visually impaired, and that's a little bit challenging for them to see. So you want to be careful on that as well. So let me start up here. And the first thing we're going to be doing is converting something to a smart art object. It's really very easy. In here, you can use smart art in Word, you can Excel and PowerPoint. It's pretty neat. I really like them, and I think in your presentations you're going to be required to use at least one smart object. I really think I like them, and I think when you use your smart art in a presentation you might be doing for another class, I think that's a great way to show off some of the things that you've learned in here. So we're starting PowerPoint, obviously. We're opening this thing in here and going to save this as this. You can see I've already done it. So let's go and, yes, I want to replace it. And we'll start in here. Now, you're not going to be able to see this, so I'll try to read some of the things it tells you. So you want to click on slide 4, which this is obviously slide 4. And then we're going to click in the services text object. So all you have to do is click anywhere. I always like to click on this as well. I don't know why. It really doesn't make much difference. And you would think that the convert to smart object would be in the shape format, but it's really not. It's on the home tab. So we're going to click to smart art graphic button in here. And it's going to have you change it a couple times in here. But the first thing they want you to do is a vertical block. And it's a little bit challenging sometimes to find. Let's see if this is it. Okay, so that's a vertical bullet list. So we're going to go down to smaller objects in here, and let's see what this is. Vertical list. So sometimes it's a little bit challenging to find. So we'll keep going till we find it. I know the first time I did it, I had a very hard time. And it's irrelevant because we're going to change it anyway. So let me try to, let's see what this is. Vertical bracket list. So I'm not seeing it. I think we're just going to change it to this right over here. And even though that's not the right one, I don't want to spend a lot of time finding it. The first time I had a hard time finding it. I should have written down where it was. So I'm going to look one more time and see if I can find it. But we are going to actually change it to this. Vertical bracket. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not finding it, but in any way, it's irrelevant because we are going to change it. I will post where it is as soon as I find it in here. So vertical bracket, vertical bullet. Let's try the vertical bracket. Okay, well, that's obviously not it. Okay, so we lose. So I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like this. So basically the same, but it's just slightly bigger. But we're going to change it anyway. So we're going to go down to it, and we're going to find the more layouts, and we're going to find the pyramid list. So we're going to actually go in back over here, and we're going to find the pyramid list, which is this. And that takes care of that one. Then we're going to do a 3D effect as well. So here's our smart art styles, and we're going to use a 3D and inset. So here's our styles, and don't confuse styles with layout. Here is our 3D, and that's polished, and here should be inset. So this is there. I'm going to compare real quickly. So this is what we should look like, and we are. So that's a step in the right direction. We found the right one. And okay, then the next section talks about entering and printing notes. We've already done that, but if you want to put in your notes, just click on the notes pane over here and you can type in notes as well. Doesn't tell you to do it in here, but this is how you would do it. When I make presentations, I'm working on two screens and I have my notes open in one and the other. When you're doing a presentation preview, you'll be able to see both the next slide and the notes for the slide that you're looking at. So now we're going to insert a shape in here, which is pretty easy. They don't give you a real lot of direction on how to do it, but we're going to actually create a pentagon. So we want to go into slide 3 in here, and then we're going to actually insert a shape, which will be a pentagon. And that should be this right here. So we're doing an arrow pentagon. Now notice when you click, it doesn't do anything. So what you can do is hold the shift key down and we'll just drag it along over here. So that is now there. We're doing figure 2, 3, and this is what it should look like. So you can see this is a rotation handle, and this little yellow thing is something we're going to be using to change the shape of the actual arrowhead itself. So we added the shape in here, block, rotation. Okay, this is the rotation handle over here. And we're not going to do it right now. Drag the adjustment handle over the middle sizing handle, and we're going to change it. They want to change it to the left. So this is this over here, and we're going to drag it, attempt to drag it to the left. And you can see how the arrow changes in there, while the rectangle part of it is the same. So now we're going to go into the shape fill list arrow. If you don't have it, make sure you're clicking on shape format, and we want to do orange accent 6. So this should be orange accent 6. And in the shape outline, we're going to do white with a long dash. Now you have to do it twice, unfortunately. So we're going to go here, we're going to click on white, and then we're going to do long dash, which is this. And then in the drawing tools again, we're going to go into intense effect gold accent 4. So again, we're in, make sure that you have it in here. We want to go into, let's see, the drawing tools, the shape styles in here. And we need to find gold, intense effect gold accent 4, which I believe is this one here. Click the shape effects button and to point to reflection. So here's our shape effects. Here's our reflection. And then it wants us to tight reflection touching, which I believe is this. So you can see that adds this there. It's nice. I think that adding these things really is going to help your presentation as well. So then it says click in a blank area and save your work. Then it talks about the eyedropper to match colors. Well, if you want to do that, you can click on the shape fill, and here is the eyedropper. So you could actually use the eyedropper to select it. If you want a particular color, you want to match something, you can do that as well. And let's see where. Okay, rotate and modify shapes. Well, there's two different ways to rotate. One, you can use the rotation handle. And the other is you can use the rotate here. So this allows you freehand. This gives you a little bit more. So it says select the block aisle. In here, click the rotate button in the arrange group. In here, and then it says flip horizontal. So that's pretty easy. We'll just clip and flip horizontal. That changes in there. By the way, that's a good thing to do for a picture. Let me show you this picture here. And one of the things, now this isn't the greatest picture to do it because she's pretty much looking straight ahead, but your eyes normally will follow the person's face. So if this person is looking, say, this way, the normal thing is for people to follow this way. this might be when you might want to flip a picture. However, if you have text that is there, it's going to flip the text as well. So you might want to just change the position of the picture and move it and move the text over here. So that's something I teach in my web design class, to make sure that when you have a picture, it's always looking, the face is always looking and pointing towards the center of it. So we did the flip horizontal here. And then we want to rotate it, I believe it says, to approximately 45 degrees. So we're going to click this, and this should be approximately 45 degrees. If you don't know what it is, then that's no big deal, because you can click on the rotate, and then you can do more rotation options, and you can see I only did 34 degrees. So we can change this to 45, and that would be an exact 45. Then it wants us to undo it, so we have to undo it twice. And then it wants us to rotate right, and that will be right 90 degrees. So that makes it pointing straight up. Then we're going to edit the shape button, and we're going to change it to a frame. So that's pretty easy. So again, I always click on this in here, and what we want to do is we want to change it to a thing. Now don't click on this, because it'll add a shape. So we want to edit the shape, and we want to change the shape, and then we need to find the frame, which is this. So that takes care of this. It's still rotated 90. So now we're going to rotate it back left in here. And this is what we should have. So we're going to draw one more shape, and then we're going to, I want to talk about some of the things that you can do with making use of the built-in stuff that Microsoft makes available for you. So let me see. All right. So it wants us to add a Pentagon shape. I'm doing this by memory. I just got to find the in here. So we right-click the slides, tab, shortcut. Okay. Okay. It wants us to delete slide 5. So we can do it one of two ways. You can click on this and hit the delete button, or you could just right-click on it and choose delete slide. Either way is going to do the same thing. So that takes care of that. Align. It talks about aligning paragraph text in here. So you're going to have the arrange and align is going to be in here. So nothing is available because we don't have anything selected. But you can either align it to the slide, or you can, if you have more objects, you can align them to each other by selecting this over here. So you can read that on there, and some of the things will give you practice on doing that in here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to add a Pentagon shape to it. It first wants us to take this text, and we're going to just change the size of the box around it. It wants us to drag it over here. That just makes it easier to manipulate in here. Then we want to do a actual pentagon. So we're going to find the pentagon here, which I believe is this. And we'll draw it right over here, which is kind of what we did before. And we have it looking like this, which I actually did the wrong one. So let me undo that. Or let's edit the shape and change it and find the pentagon. There we go. And we can fix the size in however way we want to do it if we need to. So that takes care of everything for right now. That's pretty much